Greeting, I'm Vincent. I will be your dedicated host for the sections. First of all is our eSpin group precious to have you to join these sections. Without further delay, let's start. The section will be fully recorded so you can play back and use the chapter to review some of the section content on demand. In particular for the hands-on lab and workshop portion where you need visual guide you later on. Please help to share to as many people in your organization you believe will be helpful for them as well. To be or not to be, adopt modern digital workspace and AnyWhere operation is in the most of the organization top management consideration. Empowerment modern workforce to work in modern multimodal work style from 100% in office in one end, 100% in remote, and in between the hybrid is a must for all the organization for now and futures. This is what the section is all about. We will explain in deep for what digital workspace and AnyWhere operation is about, its business value, technical overview, and let you experience it in the demo and workshop lab. This seminar is part of eSpin 2-hour workshop, Modern Workplace and Future of Work series. This 2-hour VMware AnyWhere Workplace seminar workshop will be also talk a bit on the Unified Endpoint Security, short for UES, this now to let the participant to understanding about our modern workplace and future of work solution for VMware AnyWhere Workspace and to have some content related to the Unified Endpoint Security. eSpin and VMware. VMware, which was founded in 1998, is one of the leading multi-cloud service for all applications that enable digital innovation with enterprise control. eSpin is active in providing consultancy, supply, training, and maintaining the VMware product from infrastructure server, desktop virtualization and private cloud to modern digital workplace, enterprise mobility management, endpoint protection to SD-WAN, SASE, secure access service each for the enterprise customer since 2008 on the region eSpin do business. The enterprise range from corporate, university, government agency to IT service provider on data center, secure software development, security management, SOC, NetOps, and SecOps. Event details. So at the 3 to 3:30, so we will talk about the navigating journey, AnyWhere Workspace talk. It takes around 30 minutes. Here is a quick summary. We'll talk about to understanding the AnyWhere Workspace in a normalization now, where it is all about distribute people, distribute system, application, network data, device, security, and customer. It is needed environment today to enable the employee to work from anywhere, frontline, remote, and hybrid worker, and most importantly, with secure, frictionless experience. We will talk about how had the challenge in establishing work from anywhere environment through detailed concern which include securing the remote worker, employee onboarding, enhancing productivity, evolution of nature in the IT trade. It will be followed with the 3:30 to 5, right? We have do the technical demonstration on the VMware solution together with the workshop lab. Then Q&A will take around 5 minutes, so total length is somewhere around 2 hours. The world is currently in the midst of the fourth industry revolution, also known as the Industry 4.0, which is characterized by the adoption of modern imaging technology such as AI, the artificial intelligence and software-based robotic process automation, the RPA. As a result, the modern workforce and the modern workspace are also undergoing a transformation toward the concept of a AnyWhere Workspace. An AnyWhere Workspace is a flexible working environment that allows employees to perform their work regardless of whether they are in office, working remotely, or in the hybrid environment. The concept of an AnyWhere Workplace is becoming increasingly important as more and more companies are adopting remote work policy due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the increased demand for the flexibility in the workplace. One of the key benefits of an AnyWhere Workplace is the ability to increase productivity by providing employees with the tools and technology they need to work effectively, regardless of where they are located. These include access to collaboration and communication tools, as well as software and applications that support automation and AI. In order to navigate the journey toward an AnyWhere Workplace, companies must first establish clear guidelines and policy for remote work, include guidelines for security, data protection, and compliance. They should also provide employees with the necessary training and support to ensure that they have the skill and knowledge needed to work effectively in a remote environment. In addition, companies should invest in the necessary technology infrastructure to support remote work, include secure virtual private network (VPN) and cloud-based collaboration and communication tools. They should also ensure that their IT system and processes are secure and comply with the industry standard and regulation. Finally, companies should foster a culture of flexibility and collaboration in order to support the transition to an AnyWhere Workplace. This includes encouraging the open communication and collaboration among employees, as well as providing opportunity for team building and employee engagement. In conclusion, the adoption of modern technologies such as AI and software-based robotic process automation is driving the transformation of modern workforce and modern workspace toward the concept of an AnyWhere Workspace. In order to navigate this journey, companies must establish clear guidelines and policy for remote work, invest in the necessary technology infrastructure, and foster a culture of flexibility and collaboration. By doing so, they can ensure that their employees are able to work effectively regardless of where they are located. The need for a holistic and integrated approach to modern AnyWhere Workplace need is becoming increasingly important as the world is moving toward the concept of an AnyWhere Workplace. Traditional and previous generation productivity tools were designed with in-office or on-premise operation in mind and were not intended for a remote or hybrid work environment. However, as the world is moving toward more remote and flexible working arrangements, employees are increasingly required to maintain productivity while operating outside of the office. The traditional productivity tools are not well suited for this new paradigm, as they were not designed to function in the AnyWhere Workspace context. Attempting to make yesterday's technology work in today's context can be counterproductive, as it can lead to increased complexity and reduced productivity. This is why an integrated suite of AnyWhere Workspace solution is becoming increasingly important, as it can help simplify the enterprise and maximizing the benefit it can provide. An integrated suite of AnyWhere Workspace solution is designed to address the unique need for modern employee and modern workplace. It includes a wide range of tools and technologies such as collaboration and communication tools, software and applications that support automation and AI, and security and compliance solutions. These tools are designed to work together seamlessly, providing employees with the tools they need to work effectively, regardless of where they are located. In addition, a holistic and integrated approach to AnyWhere Workspace solution can help simplify the enterprise and reduce the complexity of managing remote and hybrid work environment. By providing a single integrated solution, company can reduce the need for multiple disparate tools and technology. This can lead to improved efficiency, increased productivity, and reduced costs. Furthermore, an integrated AnyWhere Workspace solution can also help companies to ensure compliance with industry standard and regulation. This is particularly important in today's environment where data protection and security are of paramount importance. An integrated solution can provide companies with the necessary tools and technology to ensure that their IT system and process are secure and comply with industry standard and regulation. In conclusion, the need for a holistic and integrated approach to modern AnyWhere workplace need is becoming increasingly important as the world is moving toward the concept of an AnyWhere workplace. Traditional productivity tools are not well suited for this new paradigm, and attempt to make yesterday's technology work in today's context can be counterproductive. An integrated suite of AnyWhere Workspace solution can help simplify the enterprise and maximizing the benefit it can provide, include increased productivity, reduced complexity, and complying with industry standard and regulations. The last two slides help to capture the background information. As the world is transformed toward Industry 4.0, modern workplace should evolve into AnyWhere Workspace, where empowering employees to work in productive, secure, and in compliance regardless where they are. They can be in an office, remote location, or in a hybrid. Unfortunately, merely attempting to patch or make use of yesterday's technology will not work for the modern need for AnyWhere workplace, as it is counterproductive and not holistic integrated and result in tons of additional process tuning and manual work beside the complex reporting. This will serve as the opening breakout for us to continue with the VMware AnyWhere Workplace solution that follow. AnyWhere organizations, from the past 2 years, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, organizations globally accelerating transformation to make sure that they can support flexible work style away from 100% at work location, depend on the work culture and nature of the business and industry. Some transform toward 100% remote, but the rest mostly adopt what they so-called the hybrid workplace. The AnyWhere organization is the new modern workplace and future on work concept that cater for the multimodal work style. They continue to deliver consistent, seamless, and the best application experience while ensuring security is not compromised across the multi-modal work style. AnyWhere Workspace solution is in the every organization consideration, and today's topic is from digital workspace to AnyWhere Workspace. Its business value and use case. We will perform technical demonstration and provide the guided lab access for the audience so you can have a better understanding of it. The nature of the distributed work, as everyone is aware and experiencing it, the COVID-19 pandemic had caused a big shift in which the enterprise operating, and to the very large extent accelerate the change and adoption, causing the application device user to become distributed if they are yet. So this is likely to stay this way for the foreseeable future, as hybrid and working anywhere will be a new norm. We are seeing acceleration in some of the trends in motion, such as application migration to cloud, from virtual machine to container to cloud native application, adoption of any device, include personal device such as smartphone, tablet, bring your own device, and more enterprise open adoption for the flexible work style. Work anywhere. The different team have different product and different challenge. For instance, multinational corporation, global business in nature, there are many challenges across the business where supporting a distributed workforce include user experience, productivity, security, and operational complexity and cost. This can lead to a very complex challenge that span across infrastructure, the network, information security, and IT operations, and more, such as regulatory compliance and human resource productivity and employee activity concern, particularly related to the working at home and remotely. So from the employee productivity in concern, they are handled by a different team and product, which make it very difficult to orchestrate and manage. Still, a lot of the product nowadays still in the dealing with the silo management approaches. Let's get real. The modern enterprise and future of work, you cannot get away from merely use the traditional desktop or laptop, adopt or bring your own device, and allow knowledge worker and management to use the template as smartphone to do their job is necessary. Not to mention more about the emerging technology are introduced from wearable technology, from the Internet of Things, the IoT, the smart glass, the augmented reality glass. The list goes on. Attempting to use the data and absolute unified device management (UEM) that only partially support what the modern device your enterprise is using, it will become a disaster. Enterprise need a more modern and holistic approach to that for the 2D unified endpoint management to support anywhere operations. Today's solution, from the most you will be facing for most of our enterprise, is the patchwork of many tools. Most of the today's solutions are traditional, if not legacy in nature, that cater for the yesterday world. They end up being a lot of a silos product and lead to very fragmented security, suboptimal experience, and very high total cost of ownership, and end up in the management complexity, but do not provide a unified modern digital workspace and anywhere workspace experience every business enterprise expect to enable them to work in the multimodal work style. Top level challenge for most of the people, it will be inclusive of the suboptimal experience, the fragmented security, and operation complexity that will be impact to employee engagement and productivity. As the world is moving to distribute in nature, because you cannot avoid that, because this is how the trend goes. So today we are talking about unified solution from the VMware is using the best-in-class holistic approach in the one platform, one vendor manner, compared with those that is the multiple platform with multiple vendors. This solving the distribute workforce challenge today require bringing technology from the multiple vendors, supporting multiple vendors. VMware focus on solve this is to bring the best of breed technology all from the vendor, and that is by deliver VMware AnyWhere Workspace. The VMware AnyWhere Workspace approach address the end user, the IT and security challenges by providing exceptionally multimodal employee experience, enabling the automated workspace management and security by the securing the distributed agent. The solution take a holistic approach, combine the industry-leading digital workspace, endpoint security, and the secure access service or SASE technology working seamlessly across any application on any cloud to any device. This is what the VMware AnyWhere Workspace technology is all about. That bringing the strength from the three products working as a single seamless solution, integrate across IT, networking, and security. The three respective solutions about is the VMware Carbon Black for the cloud-native endpoint protection, VMware Workspace ONE Unified Endpoint Management and Virtual App and Desktop Delivery, where is the core theme of today. And then for the VMware SASE for the Zero Trust Security and Network Performance Management. Together, they will be addressing for the modern and future challenge that to be needed for the managed multimodal experience, secure the distributed edge, and then to automate the workplace. VMware brought together these three industry-leading solutions, like just named the Workspace ONE, Carbon Black, and SASE, to deliver a solution that makes sure to articulate key use for each product, promoting a highly engaged workforce, and then to deliver the broader, more effective security and reduce the cost and the operational overhead. Other things such as like VMware Workspace ONE have a very long history of supporting the mobile productivity through the Workspace ONE, which enable many organizations to deploy a swift response to pandemic-related remote work requirements through the UEM, the Unified Endpoint Management, across all the major device platforms, application access management with a unified catalog, remote support to help users wherever they are located, analytics, and automation for simplified management. Workspace ONE platform can simply and securely deliver and manage any app on any device by integrating access control, access management, and multi-platform endpoint management. The VMware AnyWhere Workspace benefit for the stakeholder, it will be depend on which side you are in, whether you are CIO, IT, then it will definitely is a visibility and manageability. For the information security officer, is about the security and compliance. For line of business HR workplace, is about the engagement and collaboration. And for employee, is about the experience and privacy. VMware AnyWhere Workspace use cases designed for your journey. eSpin is a solution-focused provider. We delivering end-to-end solution from hardware, software, and variety of professional service that beyond every principal partner is willing to do, due to no part of their such as beyond supply, but also include migration enterprise customer from the legacy endpoint solution to the modern digital workplace for anywhere operation. From coaching to join deploy as a way for transfer working knowledge, to manage the outsourcing for the customer who prefer to outsource it and enjoy the benefit, but let the eSpin to operate for the enterprise customer as part of the project scope of work. How the eSpin is supporting your AnyWhere Workspace journey. As talked earlier, eSpin delivers end-to-end value add services. eSpin on top of the technical services from the related to the AnyWhere Workspace. We have talked about the professional services or managed services in the form of such as for the help you to plan and assess, like the infrastructure assessment, experience workflow assessment, because you cannot go further without knowing where are you right now. So, and then for the virtual desktop design, virtual application design, and then for the implement and deploy services such as security audit, virtual desktop, and the application audit, and as well as like the manage and operate then virtual desktop hosting, And then for the operate and management, for the full stack monitoring end-to-end to the user experience workflow implementation, application provisioning, capacity management, and the scaling. AnyWhere Workspace deliver cross-franchise benefit. For the most of the cases, successful cases and case study, you will notice that they were focusing on some of the benefits that have been highlighted in the slide here. First is a software spend reduction because it eliminates spend on server third-party software license. That was saving and the spend elimination because it's a single vendor platform solution instead of the multiple. And then the brand protection, typically brand list from the major public incident and breaches is reduced, risk per year protected because it's a single unified cover all the area in concern. Breach risk avoidance, advanced endpoint security and compliance require breach risk operation cost. And then for the compliance and then for the fine, right, the cost avoidance, accelerate the incident investigation and limitation, the saving from the reduced time to investigate and elimination resulting in the productivity recaptures. Because instead of working with multiple tools now, it's just a single integrated unified tool, so that you don't need to be getting all the information on all the different sources. IT agility, the standardizing and the simplified operation model and automation increase the IT responsiveness for both the new deployment and issue resolution for the huge IT saving. Reduce the attrition, improve onboarding, enable consistency application access will reduce the attritions and improve the hiring for the huge saving. Time to market, modern end user experience will ensure consistent application accessibility among the product and the application developer, accelerating the time to market to increase the revenue for the enterprise who adopt the AnyWhere Workspace solution. AnyWhere Workspace depend on the use cases. Some will be starting from the managed multimodal employee experience. Some will start from secure the distributed. Some will be from the automate the workspace to be in the end is on the zero trust employee experience. Up to now, we are providing a comprehensive coverage of VMware Workspace solution, combine the three core product technology to address the modern, most complex requirement for the complete, scalable, and hassle-free manner. Now, we are turning our attention to focusing on digital workspace and the unified endpoint management, one of the areas for most of the enterprise customers most likely to start their journey from unifying all the endpoint and provide unified application management and catalog in the more deep level. Workspace ONE UEM eliminate the IT silos. Workspace ONE UEM consolidate management tool and process for improve the IT efficiency. Workspace ONE UEM extend the management beyond just the mobile for improve the IT efficiency. Workspace ONE UEM is a holistic, user-centric management approach to managing and securing any endpoint from a single platform. Any endpoint here we mean for desktop, the enterprise smartphone and tablet, purpose-built smartphone, sleep and semi and fully digitized device, as well as IoT endpoint like the wearable smart AV and IoT gateway, etc. Because more and more product is introduced on the IoT portion. On any platform, we are talking about such as iOS, macOS, Android, and Windows 10, Windows 11, as well as for Windows CE and other operating systems. Of course, any use case include the bring your own device scenario and complete own purpose-built device. Because management tool, process, and policy are combined, UEM give organization a simplified management from a single console over the air, include full desktop PC lifecycle management, increase the visibility and security and intelligent insight and analytics, overall improve experience across the end user and the IT. Unified management, any OS and device tab. As you can see from the slide, we are talking about truly modern unified management. That will be inclusive of the traditional laptop OS, those things, and then the mobile, like the tablet and smartphone, and then for the IoT things such as the wearable kiosk and other no traditional endpoint. Unified management, this is what the modern need as well. Need to be scalable, cloud first, multi-tenant architectures, because different country region may have a different way of you want to put it in the hierarchy to manage it. Localized in the over 70 plus languages with 24/7 global support, and then integrate Workspace ONE identity defined application catalog. As we all know that it's the leader with the largest market share in the UEM. Workspace ONE is a complete digital workspace platform. As you can see, the VMware are in the position to use Workspace ONE to orchestrate the set of assets to deliver the digital workspace for the IT end. VMware. For the IT end, VMware adjusted the component needed to manage and secure your environment, user and IT tier, employee engagement and experience, and zero trust security, plus value-add services such as like access service and secure tunneling, and then the device management, app and desktop delivery with the horizontal and complete endpoint security with the carbon back. Multi-tenancy solve the challenge of global scale, consistency and content structure to provide control over your deployment. It is a very highly scalable solution even for organization with the multiple regional organization. This is why it comes with a multi-tenancy support for global scalability. You can even have a different country have their very own hierarchy and report to regional headquarters and then global headquarters if you want. Role-based access for the every department. As told earlier, it is purpose-built for modern workspace and future of work. As such, its purpose is to access a variety of role-based access for the every department to have the right access to complete their respective tasks. Smart Boot is a unique capability that to benefit the modern UEM in the sense of the span multi-tenancy, and then for the more flexible control and filter map to user group, and then for the more modern on the MDM or MAM management, and then the custom tag support, and then applicable to configuration and application, and then for the centralized administration. It's a solution that delivers a digital workspace for every persona, multi-tenancy, role-based access control, and smart group map directly to every persona and geography. Typical organization is comprised of many teams. Those teams require access to application and device, and not all teams require access to office application or even email. So this by nature is only need to make sure that the adopted digital workspace solution is flexible enough for you to address that challenge. Centralized management across all endpoints, single infrastructure across all devices and applications help to reduce the management complexity. This is in all the management key concern. It is not about as many tools you want. It's about how the holistic that you can bring in and simplify your architectures to be help your management to reduce the management complexity that matters. You, with a couple thousand of endpoint devices, the solution that help you with a single platform and allow you to manage across all endpoints include applications that allow a block for unified catalog access by user role, or just a single technology platform that seamlessly work in backend, help you to reduce management complexity, which will help you get more things done compared with legacy solution then up with a silo management. Cloud power real-time management across any device, anywhere. Over-the-air management ensure the IT can reach every endpoint. The problem for the traditional management tool or on-prem are inefficient for today's modern workforce. But the cost for switching and app compatibility issue end up delaying move to modern management. The feature for over-the-air management with Workspace ONE ensure IT can reach any endpoint and give them always up to date on the policy, patch, and the app version. Workspace ONE is cloud-first solution, but also can be flexible deployed on plan to meet regulatory requirements. We will be continue now. Let's turn into the technical demonstration section for today. See it to believe. Okay, what this section will involve in the two options. One part is for my end to perform a quick technical demonstration, and then provide all the guided lab access you can do at your own time without the pressure from the section. Please follow the visual guide to complete and get the first-hand workshop and hands-on experience with all the previous credential and login ID and password given. Workshop hands-on labs. As per the given URL link that I given you before you attend for the sections, right? Login is mainly have the two particular of the workshop lab we were doing. One is regarding for the VMware Workspace ONE, and then another one is regarding for the Workspace ONE UEM. These are the two that we will complete it, and then go to the very bottom to make sure to giving you some more better idea how the digital workplace enabling the third-party integration for the end-to-end experience, so that please make sure Office 365 and Zoom is enabled green. Disable, it will turn in a different way like this, right? Disabling. No, but we want enable. To be complete the exercise, due to reason that I may need to demo you in the displays. So the exercise that I will use is actually the Windows OS running in the virtual machine, so that you can see in the display screen that I'm doing. However, if you like to do like the iPhone, you need to have iPhone or Android phone like Samsung or you Chromebook or whatever. Make sure you have all those devices that to prepare accordingly. So what we do, for instance, Workspace ONE, they have a lot of different walkthrough exercise that you can do. Experience Workspace ONE on the iOS, Workspace ONE on Windows 10. Here is saying Windows 10, but actually it's Windows 11 supported. And then for Android, Mac OS, and Chrome. Of course, you may not be necessary to complete all the exercise walkthrough. You just pick one because more or less the experience is the same. It's just a different device. The way that you do it was slightly different. And then we will be also continue with the Workspace ONE UEM with the app and access management hands-on lab. Here following for the click. And then for more on the addition on the Workspace ONE UEM for the walkthrough, right? So for the iOS being your own device, iOS corporate owned walkthrough is different because being your own device and company owned device, the way that you want to manage is a bit different in terms of access and the configuration you may want to make. And then of course for the Windows desktop for endpoint management, and then for have a look on to the Workspace ONE UEM admin console. And then they have a one hands-on lab is a Workspace ONE UEM get started. This is all the thing that we will do, but you will have different setting than here, the one that I provision for you. You just using that to do accordingly. Let's get started from the lab. What you need to do is just to enroll the lab. So you need to start the lab. It will take some time to putting in. So just take your patience. If you worry about your machine for the compatible, right? So you can do the check. But for me to save the time, I will start instantly. As you can see, when the time the thing booting on the right hand side is actually is a visual guide to go with the step-by-step guide for you to make sure that you can complete the hands-on lab assignment and then gain the experience from there. So they have some steps to go about it so that you may take some time. So what to do, you can see they have some lab guidelines how to do, and in the location of the main console. This is for the coverage of the Workspace ONE. It will tell you like what is the respective all those things is about accordingly. So click and drag, you can copy move the thing over here. So you just spend the time to read it. So we let's get started on it. So the plan is all is about how to using on the guiding for the but when the time you finish, then you just end the lab. Then he will close in the whole section. So this is the introduction to freestyle orchestra. Like here you mentioned about you will take like 30 minutes to finish the particular of the lab. It will be so it also give you the indicator how much time you need to dedicate it. And then for those want to know one more time again for device management and the VMware Workspace ONE UEM, right? So the freestyle orchestra, right? Enable the Workspace ONE UEM administrator to create a complex workflow. So you spend your time to read it. So connect to the virtual device for you to starting, right? So you need to follow the step here to finish the exercise. So like double click on like here mentioned for the Windows 10 shortcut on the main console desktop to connect to the Windows 10 virtual machine, right? So you got to follow accordingly. So like here, you just follow the step So basically, you just follow through. I don't think you will get issue to get wrong. Right? You say by the time you say you want to double click the comb, so be you just open the comb accordingly, right? And then he will mention about for you to fill in your Workspace ONE admin console and so on. So you may need to follow until the step to 804, right? I jump here, conclusion, then you will be able to complete the whole exercise. When you finish it, then of course what you need to do is to complete the step by confirming to end the whole exercise. Then Afterward, it will be after take a survey, then it will be giving you a certificate appear into the system. So yeah, right, there's something how this process is going on. So it's highly useful. You can take your own time without people interrupt you. And more important is regarding the hands-on lab resources, all is over the cloud. So that you can be using it to doing for the what is relevant for your use case in specifics. So there is a very quick and the compact way for me to guide you first how to using for the lab resources and then for the assignment that coming for you to follow through. We will be as according to the agenda, so that we will now concentrate on the VMware Workspace ONE. So that is for the simple, secure, and intelligent-driven enterprise platform that to deliver and manage any app on any device. So we continue to demo and guide you how to using all the resources from here. So we start the demos. So we are starting from the digital workplace, Workspace ONE solution first. So like the workshop, right? The ID they have been given earlier. You fill in with the what been assigned to you from the screen. Then here you will see some of the solution that been installed here for you to play around to see about what is the thing and feature you want to have a quick understanding how it works. So from the unified catalog here, based on the whatever app that being provisioned for you to be used. Before I go further, they have one is quite a unique features. So that I will want to let you have a look first, such as the is that here this is a feature called integrate with the horizon, the virtual desktop, because from the provision data center resources, it will become very useful, so that it also will be help most of the company to cut the hardware costing, because most of the thing is a virtualized into a single play to be provisioned this way. So from here, you can have a virtual desktop. Then you can basically have all your app here, and depend on the scenario. This is one of useful ways so that you can fully control from all your remote or any way of the users. They will always to access to all the control applications in the control configuration to according to your regularly compliant or your own internal security policies that you know and then can track them in this manner regardless where they are. Okay, because it's just open through the browser anyway. So we continue with the other demos. Okay, as you will notice, it being single sign-on integrated. So it's most of the app that provision here is just a one click away without asking you to further fill in with the ID and password. So secure Office 365, so that you can use it to log in this way, one click to access to all the needed apps in the picture desktop. Like this one is the integration. So you can create the new document, etc. all working in this way. It's just a one-click secure remote login to a browser. We continue with the additional demonstrations on the experience the Workspace ONE with the Windows 10. You can follow the instructions from here. I will do the quick one just to show you. You need a brand new machine that before install the software before, and then you enroll this particular machine into join into the Workspace ONE for you to control. Then you can play around some working assignment like native F horizon, C-thread, SaaS application, and then you also play around the data loss prevention, condition access, and policy and profile, and then log into the console to complete wipe to your device. This is some of the very typical thing enterprise always want to be able to control. System administrators, it means from the company end, you can do to fully manage the endpoint device. So we start one by one and then to finish it. So like here, you just follow the step to download and install the Intelligent Hub app into your virtual machine, the Windows. So then you, based on the email address and credential to rolling the machine over. This is the first step to enrolling your Windows device. It is quite the similar way for the smartphone like iOS, Samsung phone, all those things, or the other type of device that is supported, similar way. So it's just one, actually you just need to pick one and then to finish the guided workshop and the lab. Then you will get to fully understood the whole process, how it is working. So I will switch over to the virtual machine. Virtual machine, that because I need to demonstrate to you how to enrolling the feature we are talking about. So first, let's get the software first to install into your Windows device. So they have all these domain. So what you need to do is just come here to click and download into your machines. They mention here is a AnyWhere agent because formerly the solution is called AnyWhere on the time before the VMware acquires. So that's why the name is AnyWhere agent. But its solution-wise, it is what they call Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub nowadays. Okay, download already. Then what next is to install. This is basically the agent to control for the endpoint device and then to communicate with you while the system administrator consoles. Then you're pushing down all the policy, what kind of app can be used, and what kind of the additional thing that you allow or disable on the device, such as let's say like iPhone, smartphone, those with the camera. Some company due to certain reason they want to disable the camera and other features on the device viewing, right? You can do so according to these. One of the reasons want to pick like the window is because this is the most easier to be demonstrated. Um, like earlier to tell you about the virtual desktop way, some company is doing that way, or you want to install into a physical laptop, and then or maybe it's belong to your employees, or bring your own device, or is the company owned, right? So you may have a different type of policy to separate the two group of user but here I just demonstrate you how to enroll in the device one time, and then you can be experiment. We follow the same guide, then you can be experiment and then to do what you want to enforce the particular all the endpoint device can do, cannot do, and so on. Okay, the machine now is come with this Workspace ONE intelligent hub being installed here. So what you need to do, then you need to log in for the first time. You are asking you for the credentials, because each of the different device you definitely have one email address that you provision that you using it to control for what can do, what cannot do, or maybe that you have a policy depend on the platform to differentiate it is a working device or is an employee device. So let me run the first time. So you will be pop up this screen. So that what you need to do is using for the assigns the email address for the authentications. You got a lot, so you just pick one of it. For example, this is some of the demo people use for. So let's say I done this one, company owned device, Windows 10 model management, right? Same, this is the, don't follow this one, follow the one that assigned to you. Then it will be begin to enroll in your device. So just waiting to be finished. Privacy page. Like for me, usually I put no. Yeah. So it's done. So you can get started without waiting for everything being completely downloaded. So just get started. So you can install whatever the control app, your administrator that have been control, and want you able to use and so on, all from here. Here this is one of the typically people want to see is this NVIDIA, the GPUs acceleration demos where the hardware machine is actually is the typically is located at your data center. Okay, this is one of very popular use case. Since like this, so they have workstations, right? So they have a workstations that is in the provision in the virtual. Um, Instead of we have so many hardware machines that being distributed to all the employee, let's say for working remotely as well. Another way to do so is actually is the centralized managed in the data center, provision them the virtual desktop instead that come with a very powerful GPU like NVIDIA, all those things that have been uh, installed and then can be accessed. So this is one of the way people want to demonstrate how you can use it to perform for the they have a lot of kind of the like the AutoCAD or others that is heavy intensive of the GPU resources that you may require the powerful GPU card that to be installed scenario, but it will be very troublesome for you to, let's say like a workstation, it is not really that portable with you all the time. So instead, we just using a browser, any laptop with an internet connection. So you are securely connect inside, and then to connect inside, and then for you to using all the app in this manner instead. So the machine is with the GPU. Let me to quickly demonstrate. But this is one way for the use case. So the whole screen is actually being accelerated and then control how the GPU power. Hope the demos in the part 1 portions to help to highlight some of the unique features and things that you may look for. We will continue to the second part of the technical demo, but this one we were focusing on the Workspace ONE Unified Endpoint Management, Workspace ONE UEM. That is for the powered desktop and mobile device, include for the full device management, app level management for being your own device, and much more. Second portion of the demos on the Workspace ONE UEM, the Unified Endpoint Management. We will be there a lot so that I've been giving you can here out at one time, but from here what I will do is will be showing you the Workspace ONE UEM admin console. So this is a exercise. Basically what you need to do is log into the console, set up the PIN password, then we will basically play around the dashboard, multi-tenancy, role-based, and profile. So to divide enrollment and your Workspace ONE sandbox. So we continue from there. So first time, just create your 4-digit PIN. So this is the console view for the Workspace ONE UEM. So as you can see, for the typical enterprise deployment, is definitely the more device you have, the more benefit you will see from here across all kind of the device. Like here, you can say the dedicated company device have around 2,700, and then the share file device employee about 300 something, and the 5226. So from here, as a system administrator, from the device point of view, right, I can see for the total deployment for how many percentage is compromised, no passcode, no encrypted. This thing here may be some user group or the respective department maybe has some concern. So you can zoom in and drill down from there to see what is the device there from here. And then here is an aggregate view for the device seen in the last 1 day. And then the last scene breakdown, so you can see here for how many, like 3 days, for a week, 2 week, 1 month, and longer than 1 month is how many. And then the platform for the device, or we call it the endpoint, is like Android, Chrome OS, and then the iOS, the Mac OS, and then the Windows desktop here. And then for the how many device already enrolled is about, it means that you can be in direct controls, and enroll is still pending for how many, and then the pre-enroll registration record is how many, and then the breakdown for the, let's say like here is Apple iOS, for how many of the respective version, in particular useful when you want to phasing out certain version for the app support, right? You can base on here to do as a baseline considerations. Same go for my Android, what version on that. Other thing I just walk through so walk through for y'all. So the typically first thing to see is the monitor for overview. As a system administrator, right, you have a couple thousand of device. So what you need to do is to managing from dashboard, because you cannot manage what you do not know what is going on. So this is a very useful for you to know respective of the device condition and stated. So you can see from here, and then the compliance valuation. Compliance you can set for your own policy So the top valuation, and then device with the denied app, and then device without required app, all those thinking. And then for the profile, for the last profile version iOS, right, then and so on. And apps are like device without the latest app. They mean that they are still installed and they will update certain app version. So we can see from here like which one in particular that would you for you to consider whether that you want to force update or whatever as a system administrator or whatever once they connect or whatever. So here you can see also most install enterprise app version, like here I have mentioned on Horizon Client, Google Chrome, Workspace ONE SASE, 7-zip, etc. Because this is all based on your actual use case and your real condition in your enterprise environment. Device without latest content versions, and then for the email with the vibration, specific certificate that been expired for how many. So you can base on here to get the condition, and then to making your management decision what to do next, and then what kind of thing you should take actions. Here they have an additional thing like the report, list view, right? What kind of the particularly for the, you want to know for the login history, user role, application detail, manage the certificate near expirations, and then content detail by device, count of active device, count active device by user, and then the deny list or not allows, application detail by device, the battery, inventory, location, lock, the security postures, the detail you can reading on the right, and then the device usage detail, and then the white log, and then the list go on. So you just need to pick whatever useful thing you need to show. For instance, right, application detail. So it will be export in the CSV format. So you can using it to create all kind of useful chart, and then to formatting it for the all kind of reporting with the raw data we are talking about. And the device events. So you can see from here for all kind of the let's say like severity warning for what is going on the respective of the device, so that you can have a look into it, and then to know, and then to decide what you need to do with the severity category or modules that you want to be filtered accordingly. Because sometimes you have too many, then you need to filter to something you really want to see, to filter them out accordingly. Like what kind of internal, public, and then for purchase apps, that all will be showing here. You can add in the catalog here as well for what you want to have a user can be used and purchase app. Let's say the company have been licensed for specific quantity of the device. You want to keep track for how many app being assigned accordingly, and then for what the internal apps or maybe some additional custom app that you want to control for the versioning. Then you upload the app, right, plug in here, the installer, then you can control from there on that specific version. The respective different profile that for the cert, for tunneling, all those things that you may want to serve freestyle orchestrator, right? So that it is the no-code IT orchestration platform that giving you the ability to create a workflow for researcher for the app profile script and apply them to the device base or based on whatever criteria you have, so you can get started. On the management, the system admin interface, you can also quickly to add the device, create a new profile, and then for the add the internal app and public app from here. So you may be provisioned for the you need to have a user create, then you can, then from here you basically will pick what device for what name. For instance, you can see from here, then you can pick the user. Let's say example, select the user, the name, and then whatever, and then you may want him to, let's say here, enroll into corporate own. So it means into the device for company own, and then then put the name easier to remember, and then to put under the group under day, because it's company, so you put is the dedicated or share, and the employee owner. Then platform, you mean you allow me to run on all the platform or only a specific platform. And then the message to sending the enrollment for them is through the email. If there is scenario, then message, and then you save. Add a new profile. Another common task as a system administrator you will be expected. From here you will be select the platform for you to create a profile: Android, iOS, Mac OS, the TV OS, right? The window look, and then the window, and then the Android as well as for the bigger C one, and then for the Linux to get started. Internal applications. What you do is the first based on the organization group ID, and then you upload your internal app, choosing either is the local file or provide the link, and then to upload and save it into the applications. Public application, in this scenario, there is the let's say Windows desktop. You need to search from the App Store, then to using it then or enter with the URL as a way for you for get that particular app and so on. One more feature to demonstrate, of course, is the uh, multi-tenancies. So you can create up to you according to your real actual working scenario how you want to structure regionally or by country or whatever. The way is all those device and then the user, right, is will be porting over to be managed to accordingly. Role, the basic role, external access, full access. You actually on top you can create more role as per needed because no respective company and way of managing is the same. Then the enrollment status will be given to know the current the device life cycle management. The status will be at the moment. So some dedicated or whatever here. Group and setting. The group you can create the name group for specific need. So this is where we are using to managing for the multi-tenancy deployment within the organization. We need to create a group, then the existing group, and then the assign the device right into the what group, or maybe the respective app allowed denied according to what group, and then who is belong to admin group. So this is the how it will look like here is the structure hierarchy. I mentioned before this is a multi-tenancy, right? So you can also have the list view, and then the administrator view, administrator grouped by role, device administrator, right? So, and then for the login history, for some company for security access control, right? So you may want to know who is accessed at what specific time, right? The time lock. Or someone is invalid password, either is human or not human, right? So you usually will based on is that the repeat for the same or what, right? So you will know from here. Telecom, the dashboard view, the device with usage, you want to know for certain device, right, that can make call SMS. You want to know whether that is the in the normal scenario, whatever in the roaming stated, roaming, no roaming, and then the data usage. So that is conclude for the Workspace ONE UEM technical demo. Please continue to spend your own time to duplicate the same workflow and assignment and the lab, the resources given better understanding for the subject coverage method. Now let's turn to carbon back. When talk about securing the cloud, workload, and endpoint, there are three major parts of an ongoing cycle regardless of any solution you go after. First, you need to identify the attack surface by baselining the system configuration and approve software. Then follow B, you need to prevent malicious activity such as malware execution and non-malware attack techniques. Then you will need to detect the rare attack that get through and respond before it escalates to a data breach that will result in the security breach and incident. Securing cloud endpoint and workloads require thousands or more of a silo tool. As you can see from the screen, in 47 on average. And this problem is only getting worse, with 17% of company invest is more than 5 technology in the past year alone. According to the Gartner, the misconfiguration and misalignment of existing control is lavish in the 95% of the report compromise. This is why, as a result, the typical security incident workflow is overly complex and not a linear process. Teams are using many fragmented tools, counterproductive and time-consuming, seen to all the way, which means multiple agents are running on the endpoint, slowing down the endpoint. This is obviously not a good sign for the management point of view. And each tool had a fragmented information, which also result in slow mean time to resolution (MTTR) due to the time again need to consume into how to compile all those the information from a different tool that presented. VMware Carbon Black Cloud is the cloud native endpoint and workload protection platform. It breaks down the silo into one unified platform with interconnected use case. This will allow you to prevent, detect, respond, and identify risk in a unified manner. VMware Carbon Black Cloud help you advance your security wherever you are on the journey, and because it is a cloud native platform, so it can be easily grow and scale with you. Once you are in deploy one module on the platform, you can quickly and easily deploy additional module as your need evolve and on-demand basis. Carbon-based cloud extend the rich feature and analytics available within the console to integrate with the rest of your security stack. First, it will allow you to enhance your workflow through the 140 plus ecosystem partnership and integration. You are able to fit into and enrich your current security and IT workflow. Increase visibility. The Carbon Black Cloud ability to integrate across the tool and workflow provide holistic visibility that extend across your endpoint, workload, cloud, access, and network. Amplify investment. Deploying the Carbon Black alongside your other tool improve the overall value of your security stack by providing the efficiency and the improvement across your security and IT, including the opportunity for further integration and automations. In quick recap, VMware Carbon Black Cloud break down the silos and the consolidated interconnected use case into one platform with one agent and one console, moving from fragmented workflow to a circular process of prevention, detection, and response and identify risk. This is the key and core value propositions. Now we move to SASE, the Secure Access Service Edge. In the traditional model, the data center are at the center where application and workload reside. Everything from SASE like the Oracle ERP, CRM, SAP application, Citrix Virtual Desktop, collaboration application, and previous precious the enterprise data is inside the data center. These parameters protect the enterprise application workload and data. Branch office are connected to the data center through the traditional wide area network WAN, and remote users are connected to the VPN connections. All these connections must go through the enterprise security parameter in order to reach the application and workload inside. For branch and remote user to reach a field cloud and the software as a service, the SaaS, the application like Salesforce or Microsoft 365, they must go through data center. Now there is a shift to a distributed model. We know that the applications are moving out of the data center, cloud and software and the service, the SaaS app becoming more mainstream. Microsoft 365, as an example, is used more and more by enterprise rather than their on-premises health service. Users are located anywhere. They are not just in the branch office anymore. They are mobile and could be in their office, home, coffee shop, or on the go. The device tab that users use are also increasing. The devices are not limited to the traditional desktop or laptop. They also include of the tablet, the smartphone. This device can belong to enterprise or belong to the user themselves. Is the typical bring your own device BYOD challenge. Branch office are still connected to the enterprise on-premise data center, but they also have the need to reach out to web, cloud, and the SaaS applications. The way it is done today is through the data center, or what industry call data center breakholding or hairpinning. Remote and mobile users are connected to the data center through traditional VPN connection, but they also have a need to access web, cloud, and SaaS application similar to the branch office. Their traffic will either be routed back to the data center or go directly to the SaaS, for example. Don't forget for the IoT, the Internet of Things device, they are increasing smart IoT device needing to connect to the cloud as well. And here, the demand from the next generation WAN infrastructures, the multi-cloud ready architectures, predictable application performance, uniform security, empower distributed workforce by provide a better connectivity and security, ensure application performance for remote employee, use any transport available at the site, flexibility to change the mix with very little to no notice, set global policy, don't want to go in each device to set the policy that is very time consuming. So intent-based policy, no need to adjust to specific of the site. Rapid time to deploy remotely, ability to operate site without local IT admin. That is also result in a saving in the overhead. Reduce the trunk roll logistic, visibility and analytic, and of course the lower capex and opex. The shift to distributed enterprise puts spotlight on enterprise IT, their networking and security. The traditional, or we use the term, the legacy WAN and VPN architectures impose many limitations on the distributed enterprise as from the point of view from the modern infrastructure perspective. Here is the architectures illustrating the limitation of the legacy WAN and VPN. For distributed user to access web, cloud, and SaaS application, they need to go to the enterprise data center. Enterprise IT have a thick layer of networking and security to service the distributed requests in the data center. This data center software layer include load balancing, routing, IPS, IDS, firewall, and VPN concentrator to serve the remote and mobile user. Well, as you can expect, the network traffic increase when workload and data grow. To meet the demand of higher traffic load and to help scale, enterprise IT need to add more hardware device to scale those layer service in the data center. This whole process of scaling and management is slow, expensive, and inefficiency from the IT perspective. From the end user perspective, there could be a performance hit as well. For example, the latency will increase because extra hoop network traffic need to go through, or the overload network service could cause delay. Enterprise IT realize that this is an out-of-date architecture. The strong need to change is here. The shift to the distributed enterprise place new requirements on networking, security, and edge services. Networking services encompass the SD-WAN, carrier, CDN, WAN optimization, network as a service, and bandwidth aggregators. Security service go beyond the traditional firewall to include cloud-based secure web gateway, cloud access security broker, web application firewall, web application and API protection, remote browser isolation, and firewall as a service. Edge services is the new and emerging category of service to address the edge need, such as for the IoT, edge compute, etc. These services are coming together under one unified management and orchestration. This means the ability to automate and provide end-to-end deep, rich data analytics today with automate IOs and tomorrow towards self-healing. This is the view of the SASE, the Secure Access Service Edge from the VMware point of view. So far, we talked about the shift of distributed environment, enterprise challenges associated with this shift, and why the legacy infrastructure is out of date. What does VMware do to help enterprise with this shift? This is the question in mind for most of the people. VMware SASE is an extensive platform with a single pass architecture that covers cloud networking and cloud security in one holistic solution delivered from the VMware SASE POP. With VMware SASE, organizations can provide their users with reliable, optimal, and secure access to any application, anywhere, on-premise, data center, private, or SaaS application. Imagine that you are in a new distributed environment where users are located anywhere, say office, branch, home, or on the go. They could be employee or contractor or partner. The device tab are expanding to include laptop, smartphone, and more. Application and data are located in the on-premise data center, increasing in the cloud, and software as a service apps are becoming more popular. Imagine again that VMware SASE service are sitting between the user and device and the target application. VMware SASE serves the user at an optimum time and from optimum location, maximizing the performance, optimize user experience, and simplify IT operation. VMware SASE deliver networking and security server at scale while better protecting the user workload and data and lower cost. This is what VMware SASE can do. VMware SASE point of presence, thereafter we're using just the word POP. POP serves as on-ramp to the SASE, and then the cloud service deliver optimal network performance regardless of location, whether from the branch, mobile, etc., or endpoint tab, example, IoT devices. SASE port also serves as the first line of defense and processing for end-user traffic, safeguarding the network from destructive attack and user from dangerous public internet threat. The POP global footprint provides VMware SASE with a springboard to launch new networking and security service and driving integration with industry-leading third-party security partners. Built on the industry-leading SD-WAN, VMware have evolved and expand it to be a SASE platform for many services. With VMware SASE, VMware able to provide solution to the need of a hybrid enterprise with a thin edge and thick cloud approach. An extensive platform with a single pass architectures, VMware SASE offer a few networking and security services today. These services include VMware SD-WAN, Secure Access, Cloud Web Security, and Edge Network Intelligence for AI Ops. Enterprise can consume any one or multiple of these services based on their need and goals. SD-WAN is the first SASE service. It is a software-defined overlay on top of various WAN transport, provide software-defined benefits such as transport-independent performance by recoupling them from the hardware. Furthermore, this software overlay hides the difference of the network underlay, making the decision on which WAN link to use based on the real-time network conditions such as delay, jitter, packet loss, and other factors such as cost, security. Through the VMware SASE platform, customers can now also consume security service. VMware SASE security services are based on the principle of zero trust to provide you with the highest level of protection in the evolving threat landscape. About VMware Secure Access, VMware is a leader of SD-WAN demonstrated by the VMware position in the leader quadrant in the Gartner MQ 3 years in a row. Customers trust VMware to expand industry leader SD-WAN solution to deliver much more, so VMware SASE is the answer. VMware have integrated SD-WAN with the industry-leading UEM platform Workspace ONE from VMware. VMware Secure Access is a VPN replacement service from VMware SASE. About VMware Cloud Security Services, users who need to access web cloud or SASE app can count on VMware Cloud Web Security, a next-generation secure web gateway offering from the VMware SASE. Of course, the whole solution is not stopped here. VMware Edge Network Intelligence, a vendor analytics AI Ops solution integrated with SASE, give you the ability to isolate fault, make recommendation, and in the future to achieve self-healing. Lastly, you can expect VMware to introduce more edge services, including edge compute, through VMware SASE in the near future to come. We quickly move to the case study because no solution section can be ended without touching the real-world customer case study. Different customers will have their unique and different industry and sector challenge they encounter and are required to overcome. In this part of the section, we pick 3 out of the multiple cases represent over here for a quick overview. The rest of the customer case study, you can read it in your own free time in still, or just print the entire section as the coursebook for following and future reference. Here we divided into the 3 main teams. Here one is a managed multi-modal employee experience, one is for the secure the distribute edge, one is to automate the workspace. Pick one case like the John Hale, Sokula, and then the Lenticle Initiative. For the St. John Hale, it is in the healthcare industry. They have been a regional medical system serving the country and surrounding, right, with about 150 healthcare providers and 750 of the staff. So that the challenge they have is on that it operates in a legacy technology, and there was disjoint and negatively affect the employee and patient experience. Nurses have to log in as many as 4 legacy systems, and there were not workstation in patient room to update the chart. So, and then the physicians and the other are linked a single point of remote access entry to all applications. How the solution works is the staff now, after they test all the critical application and information from anywhere, and helping the physician, nurse, and other staff spend more time working with the patient and less time worry about the technology. We jump to the another case is on the Sokula, right? So it is on the provider of the accounting. The challenge they have is that they want to have to provide the mobile IT support and will be make their life easier, specifically seamless documentation of sensitive data, because the work are mostly handled on paper. Employee have to go back to the office to write up all the documents. So Sakura customer also needs secure access to essential data from wherever they happen to be. How the solution helps? The integrated platform from Workspace ONE make it easier to onboard new staff and the volunteer. Try it easier to recruit for the young trainer who expect a lot in terms of a new work and the IT equipment. It also make it hassle-free on employee during their daily work and help them save huge amount of time. With the access to the app, Workspace ONE is easier to be used and improve the separation and the private and professional use. We jump for one more case on the Lenticle Initiative. Is in the pest control service and commercial hygiene service. So the challenge they have is cloud-ready solution combine their traditional and the cloud-based system, patchwork architecture that to manage some endpoint in the cloud, some on the network, and some in the create a disjoint experience and more complexity. Rather than split the path to deliver modern apps, IT end up with the same old challenge but up in a new page. Solution how they have is that the Workspace ONE UEM is make managing Windows simpler and less costly. IT can quickly deploy, manage, and secure the PC without network or domain dependencies. That means no cloud gateway, distribution, server, or VPN. So Workspace ONE safeguard the data even when end users are working from home, and whether the device are on or off the network or domain, include patching device to keep them compliant and secure. So that is conclude for the case study section. On then we will be quickly move into the bridging on the Q&A section. We open to receive any question you have when we are deploying within the frame set for the sections. After that, we go to the next step and end the entire section. For the next step, the certificate of attendance for the participant, like your certificate of attendee from the 2 hours will be issued and delivered to you within the next 72 hours. We sum up the content for the section so you can submit for whatever continuity, professional development, and claim for that 2 hours. E-learning portal access, it will be enabled for a month. So feel free to log in based on the credential we assign and continue for the workshop and lab activity, as well as to download the PDF of the course book for the sections. In deep enterprise requirement discussion, feel free to contact us for your requirement or attempt to reach us for the business case development and look into your current change requirement and solution packet and budgetary requirements. Q&A, seeing that no question being asked, So that I do prepare some just to talk over here. Hazards to own it, need to train people and invest in infrastructure, etc. If only it's just too much hassle for you, let this way outsource to us. It's been managed for you, so you can run on the operating expenditure instead of just the capital expenditures. Espin is happy to discuss with you for the multi-years managed service contract if that makes business sense for you, focusing on just use. For customers who prefer to stick to call, let us help you to deal with the no call for you so you can focusing on your very core business. Let's face it, how many product specialists do you want to have? To invest in the continuous development and keep them on the payroll where you know you are lacking the challenging environment for them to stay long. If that indeed is not your core business, why not just outsource to a company like Espin Group, who is committed to the solution and capable of reducing the expenses and increase the quality of work, efficient and effectiveness. For customer know for that, Espin Group is one of the potential solution vendor you can engage and discuss about your requirements. So when we reaching here, we have been reaching the end of the whole section. I will take the opportunity to thank you for everyone to make your effort to attend for the section. Everyone have a good day.